My people, hii ni ingine mwecheche. 11 billion Kenyan shillings Talanta Stadium scandal. Unajua Wakenya tuliingia 2026 na wizi, January wizi, February wizi, expect much more coming till December because there are some individuals here when they see us denouncing this, unasikia ni yako ngapi imeibiwa, personally hakuna yangu imeibiwa, but ni yetu sisi kama Wakenya imeibiwa. This is a lot of cash that should be doing something constructive in a country, because I believe Kenya is not a poor nation, but is literally led with individuals who value their pocket most. Yani it's very shameful seeing Mr. Beast kutoka kwao anakuja Bomet kujenga madarasa na kupeana desk because the situation is very very bad, and you're the same people who keep on entertaining the theft. Anyway, when I tell you hata tangu zalio uje kutana na watu bilioni 1, I'm going far. Hautaamini. Alafu kuna watu unapata wanaindirect hizi pesa. Juzi pesa za SHA zimepotea. Ukasema ni zenu zimeibiwa. Haya ndio hizi. Ni zangu zimeibiwa tena. Ni zenu. Zetu sisi kama Wakenya. And if we keep on entertaining this, they will keep on stealing because they know kuna watu wanawaprotect hapa kwa internet. Aluta.
Even before the dust has settled on the 11 billion heist that happened at SHA, we are now waking up to another 11 billion scandal from the Talanta Stadium. A total of 22 billion gone like that in a span of 2 weeks. Good people, do you know how much 1 billion is? And do you know how much 1 billion can do for you? Now imagine 11 billion. That in itself would construct another 2 or 3 stadiums. Yes, but no, that money is finding itself in the pockets of the oligarchs, the political elites, and the entrepreneurs. That's the sad reality. And in a nutshell, let's decipher what the Auditor General raised and questioned. Now, the contract sum reportedly rose from 35 billion Kenya shillings to 45.8 billion Kenya shillings without any clear explanation as to why. Get that? Questions are raised over the procurement process and bypassing the open tendering, and this undermines transparency and competition, because somebody is just handpicked, and that's where kickbacks come in. AG approval and not the Attorney General, Auditor General. So AG approval allegedly not sought for contracts above 5 billion, and that's the law. Anything above 5 billion in expenditure, you must get an approval from the Auditor General. And this is clearly not being done, thus eroding oversight. Concern over cost overruns, overheads, and penalty structure. Basically, that's what the AG has red flagged. And Didi Nyoro told us all these things, to the point he told us this was a loan secured via the sports fund. And look, it's been inflated from the initial 35 billion to 45.8 billion. And in 15 years, we are supposed to pay back this amount. And what's even heart-wrenching is that the interest accrued will be higher than the principal amount. So we are going to pay an interest of 100 billion. So in total, what the taxpayer will be squeezed is 145 billion. Meaning every month for the next 15 years, we'll have to be repaying $500 million. Yes. Somebody is taking his family to Maldives, raising high-rise apartments in palatial areas. Somebody is building real estate in Dubai at the expense of taxpayers. Now, as Kenyans, we have become so immune. We have become so negligent about corruption. It's like we have accepted it as a way and norm of life, that such figures do not even move us, leave alone even to tears, to hold this government accountable. Get it? 11 billion is a lot. And then recently 11 billion, Yasha, we are talking of 22 billion. That's enough to transform this country, critical sectors. That's enough to invest industries, manufacturing plants, classrooms, schools, feed our children, stock hospitals, train more staff. But no, they are going to people's pockets. And if you want to know Kenya is a banana republic. We have normalized stealing. The only difference is if you're poor or if you are rich. For you to steal successfully in Kenya, you must have a status. And people will like you. They will elect you. But dare you steal 300 shillings or a mobile phone and nobody knows you, you will be given street justice. You will be lynched and even burnt to death. That's the true reality. And the worst thing is, every shilling that is earmarked for expenditure in this country is an opportunity to loot. As a country, we are taxed as a developed one, but we are serviced as a failed state. We are already overtaxed, overborrowed, and overburdened. 11 billion to disappear like that is a lot of money. And that is not a clerical error. It is a governance and structural failure. Money does not just disappear. Money is made to disappear. This is something premeditated. People sat down, calculated, and executed the same. So it is not a clerical error. It is simply a governance and structural failure. And if you look at Article 201 of the Constitution, it outlines and governs public finance, transparency, accountability, and prudent use of resources. These are just not suggestions. They are binding principles, whether you like it or not. And I'm telling you, people who support Kasongo have a low IQ. These people are daft, singing to us that we have the best stadium. But it is a stadium that is mad with corruption, inflated prices, and we shall pay at the end. Why have an expensive stadium that has been procured fraudulently? And then you still hear people say, Kumi bila break, 2 term. Any project in this country that has Kasongo's footprints is an avenue to loot. And I told you there are 2 things you should not give Kasongo: a microphone and a crowd. Once you give him those 2 things, he knows lip service, very good at it. And look at all the time when he's speaking. There is no project he has ever mentioned below $1 billion. When he's talking here, oh, Nithi Bridge, 20 billion. Oh, tolling of Thika, dueling of Thika, 50 billion. Where does he get those figures? Where does he get those figures? Before you undertake a project, there's something called a feasibility study. People have to go and look at what is going to be built, how it will be built, what it will be built with, and then you get a figure. Then you do your costings. But this man, it's like he already knows those figures in his head. He'll go over here, oh, we'll build a university for 2 billion. Oh, we'll expand this fact. Everything of his is running into billion, 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 billion. And then when you go see the thing itself, it's not even worth that billion. That is budgeted corruption. Budgeted corruption being masqueraded as development. You're lying to the people on this hand and you're stealing from them. But anyways, 2027, we have a fate with destiny. Make the right choice. Kasongo must go. Better than the Messi.